to fold like a diamond from gold. Maybe you are something I cannot define. Maybe you are the fallen kind. I lay in bed with violence, the silent side of me. We see where fire starts to breathe. When I would lay in silence, the voice inside of me made me lose my mind right.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode, the podcast actually, of the Lockdown series. Joining me today is Brendan. I spelled his name wrong, I believe. And Kaiser is our special guest on the stream today. This is an experimental stream on how we're going to proceed with the recap of the week. I think I unmuted myself on stream, which is good. But Brendan and Tyler, how are we doing tonight, fellas?
I'm feeling really good tonight. Enjoying the past week of action. The last 8 matches this week were pretty solid, and I'm just ready to get into week 2.
Bro, you're just bumping to the music, bro.
Gotta love it.
Gotta love it. Yeah, you're gonna hear me again on your stream, but that's fine. Kaiser, Tyler, man, what's up, brother?
Nothing much, man. Just here to play COD, having a fun time.
Just here to play COD, having a fun time, man. Well, you're a special guest on the stream tonight. I couldn't get anybody else but you. And first of all, big thank you for pretty much coming out and really hanging out with us. We got a few questions for you. We got, maybe some of the fans that are probably watching may have some questions. Brendan will probably monitor the chat box a little more if anybody does have any questions or anything. But yeah, let's get this going. We really had our first week, of K7. Finally, we are back after a long-awaited time of pretty much everything that is going on in K7. I'm just checking everything as I go. Oh, that's a nice backdrop. Very nice. But anyway, we had some pretty good games, pretty solid games, pretty big upsets, and pretty strong games from some of the teams that we've watched. Kaiser, what do you think as a player in the league? What do you think as your first week? How was it? What went through your mind? What went through your team's mind? Tell us a little bit about that on the player base, because we're kind of curious to know what players think when they're playing in this league.
Well, my team, I feel like we're kind of a special case. Like, we really emphasize, like, teamwork. Like, that's, like, what we're all based around. So, like, when something happens, like our teammate lost power, we kind of like, we got a sub, and no way in saying that our sub was bad, but like, like we work around teamwork so much. Like sometimes we just,
Yeah.
like when that happens, we don't, it's hard to win. Like we don't have, I would say we don't have the best gun skill out of the league. So
Yeah,
tough.
man. It was a tough situation. Shout out to like Tugboat said. Shout out to those that down in Texas who are struggling. Through the storm or the inclement weather that's going on down there. We really feels for you. It really sucked not seeing Koi from Rated White. I have to tell you, and I have to say this on stream. Rated White is about my favorite roster with Dazzy and the boys, man. Really love Rated. I've been a Rated fan ever since they've joined the league. Always will be a Rated fan. I got love for all the other teams too, but Rated hits me different, right? So it did suck not seeing Koi play, man. I know he's a huge part of the team. A huge dynamic probably in terms of is he like a respawn player? Is he like
Um,
specific?
I mean, he basically came into the scene this year, so like he's everything at this point. Like he's not one type of player.
Damn
I
right,
would
he's
say,
everything.
yeah, I would say he could be better at S&D, mostly because he doesn't have the best internet, so like he tries to use his head a lot more than anything else.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. But Rated White, I got a lot of love to the roster. Rated Gold with Bajimbo and Co over there as well. Definitely got to regain right after a week like this, and just kind of look at VOD, look at how you played. I don't know if you guys have a coach or anything, but Brandon, what are your opinions and thoughts of pretty much just like what we just talked about right now, like on Rated?
I would agree with the assessment. I just think they had a rough week coming in, and they were not ready for the opponent. They kind of gave us everyone here at K7 a huge surprise with that match result, but I don't think it's going to affect them in the long term. I really think they're going to start pulling out some clutch matches, getting to that round 11 in SND, and even with some of the players not necessarily being the best on the SND, they are really good on all of the respawn matches. And I've watched a couple of the scrims. I'm pretty impressed. What they did last season was pretty good, so I can imagine
Yeah.
that for the rest of the season they're gonna do really well.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. And Kaiser, just because we're touching basis on rated, man, how is a day to day basis of being a rated player like? Like, can you take us through that? Like, what is a day to day, you know, lifestyle of being a rated player?
Um, well, recently we haven't been on top of things, but that's like no one's fault. But what we want to be doing is, we get on around, we play at night. We're vampires. Like we're always up at night. We literally get on about 8 Central Time, and we stay on till like 12 to 1 in the morning.
Yeah,
So
12. Wow.
we do that about every day. Like except for the weekends, we try to play a lot earlier. But that's what we like to do, and then we use the weekends usually to go over VODs when we do.
Nice. Any like I know you probably don't want to get into specifics, obviously, because of like strats and stuff. Like if you could tell the viewer base or anything, any like specific things you might look at a VOD on the weekend? Like, what are you guys?
Um,
What's like a red flag you're looking for or something?
well, like I don't know. I'm trying to think. Like we haven't really been looking at VODs recently. When we do, we kind of just it's always about where we should be in different situations. Like because there's infinite situations. Like you can never have the perfect setup every time. Like you got to be able to adjust. And so like we're always going over the VOD and just looking where what we could do different, trying to just make it a habit more than a call out mid match type
Right.
thing.
Okay. Yeah. Look at. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Definitely something to look for. Obviously, it's a big part of playing and all that those comms. I think we did a listen in on the comms during the stream to see how Rated White was playing. I don't know if it was gold or white. I know we did gold for sure. I can't recall if we did white. It's just so many games, man. 8 games a week is stressful and tiring, but it was very interesting to watch. I mean, other than your match, any interesting matches that particularly like as an upset or like as a team winning, like kind of like hit you or something? Like anything
Um,
surprise you?
pretty sure it was Valkyrie versus what Valiant.
Yeah, Valiant. Yeah,
Um, Valiant had Cuffer and Sky, right?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so
Which they popped
um,
off. They popped off.
yeah, I was surprised map one, like Valiant took that pretty dominantly, like
Yeah.
the hard point, and I wasn't expecting that. I mean, they did not have Prodigy, so that kind of makes sense. And they did after that once they got Prodigy back, like
Oh,
they didn't even get close.
that was game over.
A little surprising, like how much a difference one player could make right there.
Yeah, no, that match particularly interested me because that was like the bench, right, of Rated Gold. And I mean, Cuffer, fantastic player, man. I love to see him play and what he does. That game was super interesting to watch. I really thought they were gonna take it to a map 5, just based on the performance gap, which we'll get into the stream here a little bit later to kind of look at the KDs and the engagements overall. But overall, man, that match was insane. Like the comeback that Valkyrie made, like on map 4 for that hard point, they were down like 50 points or something. We're gonna see it on one of the videos that we have on an edition of the Red Zone, is what we call it on this podcast. What they did essentially to like go back and forth, to battle that team. But it was an intense match. But I mean, I would agree with you. I mean, Vic, any thoughts on that match particularly?
Um, Outside of what we've already talked about, no, you kind of nailed it right there on the head. It was a very interesting match just because it seemed back and forth for a little bit before the inevitable victory. But I honestly was really impressed with just all of the players' performances this week for the most part. I think the week one's expectations were definitely beat, and I can't wait to see more next week.
Yeah, I won't be here next week. Vic's gonna pretty much fill my shoes, but man, I'm gonna be watching games from international borders. You're gonna get that one analytic from South America, but I'll be definitely following the games and everything from where I am. Very interested to see how some of the teams perform and everything. But let's just kind of go into our next segment here of pretty much the upcoming matches that are supposed to be coming out for week 2, which is on this layer right here as we get that beautiful transition, as the casters say. This is season 3. Upcoming matches for week 2 happens this Monday, the 22nd to the 25th. We will start it off with Valiant Gaming and Syndicate on the 8 p.m. segment, followed by Hype D Sports and God Gaming on the 10 p.m. segment. Moving it down to Tuesday, Valkyrie going up against Living Nightmare on the 8 p.m. segment, and Natural Talent, the undefeated champs, going up against Swear Society on the 10 p.m. segment. Coming in Wednesday, that's the boys in white, rated white, yes indeed, going up against Finale Gaming. We will talk to you, Kaiser, in a little bit, because we're kind of curious to see what you're doing and what your squad is doing to prep for this big match. This is a big team, in my opinion. They're definitely making a statement this season versus what they did last season. And then the 10 p.m. match, another great match. That's a big rivalry, friendship rivalry is what I call it, is the Wave Runners and the Heartbreakers, which we'll get to in a bit. And Team Hustle, Monolithic, and Rated Gold and Knights Templar. Man, I love a match like this. This is they say they're friends, but I prefer they be rivals. But kind of just we were just talking about that match, which is Rated White and Finale Gaming. Kaiser, how are you guys prepping for this match, man? This is a tough team.
Well, this is actually one of the only teams we have like we know a lot about. Like we've scrimmed them more than most of the teams in the league. Like we've played them in a pre-match.
Yeah,
Like
that was insane too.
yeah, yeah. Unfortunate for us, but if in my honest opinion, I'm not too worried about it. Like I genuinely believe we can, do what we wanted to do day one.
Absolutely, man. I mean, after the loss that you guys had in that search and destroy round, I mean, definitely, I believe probably a lot of VOD review, probably, and just a lot of talks, kind of looking at how the team plays. They're very aggressive. They're all GB players, I'm assuming, and they're a pretty aggressive roster. But I know the boys in white could probably close it out. I mean, if Sneak is watching this, I hate your team. Um, and I want Rated White to win, bro. And any Finale player, if you're watching this, that's right. Kaiser's got you guys. Dub, baby, dub. Vic, your thoughts on this match specifically?
Well, I'm a huge fan of Finale. I think they really came into our league last season and showed us what they could do, making it to playoffs. But I'm sorry, guys, right away I got to go with my boys in Finale. I think it'll be a close game, but I think at the end of the day you're going to see some experience flow through. Those S&Ds are really important, and they are a little bit better than rated white at the S&Ds. The hard points and the control that can go anyway.
Oof, Kaiser, you gonna let this man do this to you? You gonna let this man do this to you? It's all right. We're gonna prove you wrong. I'm gonna be the hype man for their match. As Indiana Syndicate, I know you're watching the stream. The boys 3-0 cubbed hyped esports. We're not going to say much on that factor right now, but we're going to take a Division A recap here, Vic, with Kaiser to kind of look at where we rank for Week 1 as rated gold coming in first, followed by the Heart. There's really no ranking numbers here because pretty much everybody's record is 1-0, but based on maps and also points as well, winning percentage, rated gold comes up on top, followed by the Heartbreakers, Monolithic Gaming, Finale Gaming, Wave Runners, rated white right down there. Knights Templar, which was a huge upset. We'll talk about that here just in a few seconds. And Team Hustle. Kaiser, any teams right here that kind of stick out to you that's going to be not a problem, but more of a challenge, other than Finale Gaming?
To be completely honest, I think the only two teams that we really, really have to worry about are the two teams on the top right now. We personally have never even played Heartbreakers. We've only seen them play occasionally. We haven't played any of the teams they really played, so like it's hard to compare ourselves. But they've always showed up, and then we know rated gold, so like those are the two teams we'd look out for.
Damn, rated gold and rated white. That's gonna be such like an intense but weird matchup in my opinion because it's like rated versus rated. Like the social media is gonna be posting and tagging rated twice. So like this is mad confusing. Like people are gonna think that we like screwed up the social media for the night, or like the guy was drunk that created the graphics. But it's two teams, guys. It's a gold and a white team. Yes. One of the teams got rebranded, but that's not a conversation for the stream. We're going on to Division B here, where we had some pretty intense game as the undefeated champions, the Natural Talent Squad, one of my favorite squads as well in the league. But I gotta give the gas, the premium gas, to my boys at Indiana Syndicate, Gorilla and Co. As I was their hype man for that match, I had to be in there, give them that 5-minute speech about whoop ass. I have to say it on stream like that because it was an intense match, boys. And we have a Valkyrie where Prodigy made the godly return to get the team the victory, make it a 3-1 map set. And Living Nightmare kind of surprised me. I won't lie to you. I know it was Swear Society and Living Nightmare, right, that played each other? I believe it was.
That is correct.
And very honestly, it surprised me a lot. I mean, I don't follow Living Nightmare a lot, and there's no offense to you guys if you guys are watching the stream. I'm not here to bag on teams, except Hype Esport. No, I'm joking. I'm not here to bag on teams, but you guys caught me off guard. Swear Society following right below them. Valiant Gaming coming in after the loss. Hyped Esports and God Gaming taking the major losses of the week with the 0-3. But it's regained. There's always a regain moment, Kaiser. There's always a regain moment. But, like, when you lose a 3-0 like that, or, well, not that you're used to that at all or anything. What I'm saying is, like, if you were to lose 3-0, like, what's the feeling? Do you know? Like, have you ever lost 3-0?
It really depends on the circumstance. Like, I'm trying to think, like, to use Valiant as an example, they lost 3-1. I still think that they have a lot of potential. Like I don't think they should be super worried and trying to make tons of different changes. Like, they're a newly formed team. Like, it depends. Like, if you're a new team, you're still working things out, you don't have a coach, stick with it. Like, work together. Like, don't let that just kill your vibe. But like, sometimes you stick together, you're doing everything you can, and then you end up getting 3-0'd. Maybe that's when you start thinking maybe you want to do a change. But always try to stick it out first.
Damn, you heard it here from Kaiser first. You have to stick it out. Stop splitting your rosters when you lose a scrim, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here from Kaiser. He said it himself. Please don't leave a team because you lost. You have to take the L. I'm going to be the hype man in this stream right now because a lot of teams need a hype man. I feel like Mad Money Mike, but I'm not Mad Money Mike. But anyway, Vic, like, afterthoughts on that?
No, he's absolutely right. A lot of these teams from last season, especially, there was entire roster upheavals. There was people leaving left and right, trying to get on the roster they think was going to win, and you got to let all that go. Personal legal aside, teamwork is the number one reason that teams win in this league and any other AM league for that matter. Working well with your teammates, building strats, building chemistry, working on your flaws, shoring up your strengths. Like I look at, for instance, last year's Indiana Syndicate, they started out really kind of rough on our league, and they got better and were a top 4 team. But they stuck it out, and they didn't have too many roster changes to speak of. They worked on their flaws. They practiced a lot. They spent a lot of time scrimming against the various teams in the league. And honestly, this year's hot start's just a testament to that. So for me, I'm 100% in agreement here with our friend.
Kaiser, Tyler, the GOAT. He's here giving you guys advice. Don't leave your team over a loss. You guys got to stick it out first, give it a chance, make the necessary changes that need to be made. The manager and the coach will always be there to support you, but, really just stick it out. That's really the tip of tonight's stream is stick it out through the loss, and just next week regain, man. That's what Kaiser's going to do. That's what they're all going to do at Rated White. Is they're going to regain, come back stronger. I even forgot who you're. Oh, we just went over. It's Finale. Yeah, Finale Gaming is going to be a tough one, but kind of looking at rankings still. We're going to take a little glance at the qualifiers here because we got to give these teams the recognition that are playing in our qualifiers after 4 solid. It was 4 solid events, or no? Event 4 is coming up now, right?
Yes.
We played 3 events. So we played 3 events. Event 4 is coming up next weekend, and it's Shinobi Uprising taking the number 1 by a huge margin here, Vic. Very great team. They have 11 series wins. They average about 2nd place every time in placement. Fims Gaming, that's Goop to God. We know him because I think he played on Rated last year, and a few other rosters as well. But they're not too far behind. It's a 100-point club right there. But, I think 1 win on a qualifier with 10-plus teams is 100 points. Because that's what Lemon and Code, which we'll talk about here in a sec, did. But Team Veer still coming in strong as Carrie's team, the ex-league commissioner. Shout out to you in the UK for now staying up late, when I didn't need you. But so, Carrie coming up strong. Average placement is 7. 3 events played right there. Millennium 7. That is Frogger & Co. If you're watching this, Frogger, big shout out to you and your org, man. You guys do a fantastic job. You guys have awesome players. And Lemon & Co. is actually part of their management and some of their players as well, which they have some nasty players. I think Tank GB or Tank and Pandemic, I believe. Or I don't know. I think I got the teams mixed. But anyway, Grim Gaming coming in as well. That is, what's his name? Bacon or Beacon? Always in the server asking questions, kind of ranting. We love you, bro. It's okay. So you heard what Kaiser said today. Take the L, regain next week. Team KGK, this is a guy I know personally. Josh, man, you're amazing. Your squad's coming up. And, they got 70 points. Average placement is 6. They actually played 2 events, not 1. So I screwed that graphic up already. Team Oppose, man. This is a team that has a lot of potential in the qualifiers, has a lot of potential in general of getting into the league and just really doing their thing. 60 points. They've played, I think, only 1 event. Yeah, I didn't screw this one up. They've placed average 3. And that's because they only played 1 event. So not too much going on there, gentlemen. And qualifiers, man. Any teams stick out to you guys, or any teams you might know?
I did know a couple players from Shinobi. One of them ended up not playing anymore, but I still know one of them, and they're really good players. They were.
Oh yeah.
We used to scrim against them all the time. So.
they're nocturnal individuals as well. They stay up pretty late at night because I will tell you, bro. We started this qualifiers at 3 p.m. This last one, and it only ended the next day at 4 a.m. The 2 double matches. Vic was ready to shoot his head off for having to stay up and watch the game. Vic, thoughts on that game? I mean, not on that game, but on that qualifiers.
The qualifiers, yeah, we're doing 2-day events now. Playoffs being done the next day. As much as I love watching Call of Duty 12 to 15 hours a day, it just came to a point where the teams were just getting frustrated. I think one of the teams had to wait from almost 7 p.m. to nearly 2 in the morning to play their map, and that was a little bit unfair for them because they had like a 9-hour period of cooling down. But I mean, the matches were solid. Like the quality of games that we're seeing is right up there, and I can't wait for tomorrow's. I believe it's tomorrow's the next event. Or is that next week?
No, next week. Next week.
It's next week.
Next week.
The 27th, 27th, 28th.
I know.
So that'll be. No worries. That'll be next week.
You're up too late at night, bro. You're up too late at night. You gotta get that Tylenol PM and just knock out.
I gotta go to bed early the night before to get up late in the day.
Yeah, no, you might see some Vic action on the qualifiers. We have an executive team. I mean, we're not top 8. We're not even top 12, but we are top 13. And we will get there, Kaiser, because we take L's, but we regain the next week. I mean, we got mollywopped our first round, but that'd be fine, because Andy and Co. cheated. No, I'm joking. They didn't cheat.
Oh, yeah, okay. Okay there, bud.
Half cheated, because they used, like, a player, and they were all like, oh, we're all org owners. I'm like, yeah, okay. Dude, this guy was dropping, like, a 40 bomb on our team. I was like, no way this guy's an org owner, bro. He does not have this much time to own a team and play this much. But that's a discussion for the next podcast when they're all here. But let's take it to the Red Zone segment. This is the segment where we show you the top 2 plays that Vic and I thought were the most interesting plays and stood out to us. And Kaiser, because you're a special guest, you just happened to be on one of these. And let's just take a look at this. I think it was Hardpoint on Moscow. This play was kind of nasty, bro. It was kind of like unexpected out of nowhere. You just like prepped yourself pretty well in this point. This is Kaiser on the Red Zone.
Let's finish him off. That's going to be a nice little win there for Rated White. But we'll see if they can actually get any time off this. Nice 2 kills for Kaiser. That's a good way to open that one up.
Right now, though, and I think he might have done it, as now the spawn's coming in.
This is another
on the
play.
other side. Oblivion.
This is Oblivion, by the way.
Last player is going to be in money. The other one is going to be up front. One shot is going to player up front, and now the spawn's coming in to the left. Only about 50 points down is Val.
So I kind of screwed that up, but anyway, production. That's what I'm good at. But not really. But the first play, Kaiser. Did you even expect that to happen, or were you already like kind of like prepped for that to happen?
I mean, I don't know if you noticed, the first 2 kills, the guy I was shooting at got team killed. And if that didn't happen, I was dead right there. Like, I was expecting to die right there. But when I saw that team kill, I was like, all right, I'm going to kill everything. Like, you know, they're setting me up. I'm going to knock them down.
Just like shoot everything, do a 360. No, I'm joking. But yeah, no, that was pretty nasty. It came out pretty well. It happened to be where, like, I think I was streaming that match. Yeah, I think I was streaming that match. And I just happened to go on Kaiser because all I heard was Kaiser. And I was like, oh, let me go in real quick. Something's going on here. And it's like, oh, a team kill. And then it showed that clip. I was like, oh, boy. The second one that I kind of screwed up, I was going to show a little bit after. But that's Oblivion from the Valkyrie squad coming up big in that hard point. That's the hard point that they came back on map 4 with Prodigy. He came up behind there in Kitchen and just took out all 3 of them in the hill. It was kind of insane because that was like a really big play that they needed to kind of like gain potential in raid on that hill and kind of like go to the next hill. I'm not an analytical guy like these casters or anything, so I might be talking gibberish and just pulling things out of my butt. But I'm pretty sure that was a big play because it mattered. Like, positioning on the map-wise, from how I looked at the clip and how I watched the stream. Because I do watch these streams, believe it or not. Other than just producing it, I do go back and watch them. I kind of enjoy them. I gotta, to do this show, I kind of gotta, like, do my homework. But very interesting. That was a really awesome Kaiser of you, and to really kind of pull off that 2-piece that you did just unexpectedly and just shoot everybody, like you said. It was pretty good for what happened. But Going on to the next portion, man. You are a player. You are probably gonna understand this more than I will. Vic's got the big brains. He's Jimmy Neutron of the league. Um, kind of going into match one here, watching the Heartbreakers dominate the Knights Templar. This is one of the upset games that we watch. But first of all, I am bowing down to Trezzy right now because he is a team of his own. He is a team of his own. This man went like 16-4, 16-8 in Search and Destroy. It was ridiculous. He almost broke the league record. The league record in Search and Destroy, I think, is 21 kills. Just insane. The casters definitely shout that one out. And really, really crazy. Wait, let me see here. I got the Sparky. You here with us? Sparky is our moderator for this thing. What's the scoop here on Trezzy?
Since you said something about the record going back from Modern Warfare, this since we are starting a new game, we started doing a whole new records, and he set the kill record for, I believe it was S&D.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, S&D. It was S&D.
Yeah, and that was at 16 kills.
All right, so you heard it here first for the CW season. Trezzy broke the league record for the CW season. He's got a 1.94 KD coming out of this game. That's because I just saw your teammates, Kaiser. That's why I asked. But very 91 engagements total in this matchup. Drop shot stats, by the way, giving us these stats. Just a big shout out to them, Coco and his partner. But I think Coco's doing it all by himself. 04, another machine built differently. Octane, Octavian, whatever you want to call this homie. Huge an ace. Huge shout out to the Heartbreakers team for tearing it up, coming in for a really nice opener. And we got a lot of other broken records that we'll go over when we look at this. But the Knights Templar side, man, had me scared. Nordic and Magnifico are my favorite duos of this team, and man, 6.9 or not 6.9, that would be too much. 0.69 and 0.66, underperforming for what they're expected. Kaiser, any thoughts on this screen that you're seeing right now?
I don't actually like for Knights Templar. I only know Ray, and because pretty sure he was unrated, if I remember correctly. So like, I'm surprised. I thought Knights Templar, I've been hearing like just from talk around the league like that they were really good, but that was before they got like this team. So I'm wondering like what happened with their old team.
I don't know. I know they got Rybo and like 2 other guys on their roster. I just can't. Yeah, I know they're sitting, but they'll play like if they need to play. But yeah, definitely a huge surprise to me to see this roster. I mean, Vic, what were your thoughts on this match when you saw this?
I was in shock. I knew Heartbreakers coming into the league were very good. Heard a lot of good things from teams that have played them or scrimmed them in the past, but this was just otherworldly. I don't think KT even dropped a match 3-0 last season, let alone this badly. Ray being right in the middle of the pack with Dusty kind of leading the team for kill differentials. They were not good on the hard points. They were slaughtered in the S&D. I really don't know what to say about it. Lots of shout outs and respect to Heartbreakers for coming out and really putting the beat down here, but like, my goodness, I kind of feel bad for anyone who's going to play Heartbreakers the rest of this season, because if KT's going down 0-3, what other teams are going to get stomped by this team?
Yeah. I think it's like Kaiser said, it's going to be the recurring thing of the stream. Take it back, regain, and just go through it again and come back stronger next week. Isn't that right, Kaiser?
Yeah.
Going into match 2 here, Rated Gold, and Team Hustle. Another 3-0 match here, but we have a big performer on the Hustle side, which used to play for Finale, and that's Mr. Neva. How big is your backpack, first of all? Because 1.14, carrying your team at 109 engagements, almost keeping up with Afro, and Bajimbo's around the same area with Flamma. I don't want to say Flamma. Um, that's huge. That's huge for Neva on a situation where they got 3-0 like this. Yeah, that's big. I mean, the KDs weren't as low for the rest of the people. I mean, other than the Easy with the 0.78 and only 91 engagements, where everybody's kind of averaging more than 100, except for 3 players on here. Um, I mean, you played Rated Gold, right, Kaiser? Like, I mean, Bajimbo's Bajimbo. He's season 2 MVPs, dude. Just dude's another level.
Yeah. I actually teamed with Jimbo for like a week or something. It didn't end up working. I went back to my old team, but like it wasn't because of Jimbo. Like he's obviously a great player, and it's just kind of what I expected when I saw this matchup.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, they played each other in the preseason the week just before, and to kind of get a preview of the match, that's what we predicted on stream as well. I mean, but it's that regain concept, man. I mean, Hustle didn't have too bad of an engagement game, but like it's just contesting the hill and getting to point, rotating, search and destroy. I think it was like a 6-1 or 6-2. Rated just overall dominated that game. I think Control they even got spawn trap, because I think it was a checkmate. Um, so definitely, it was a tough game to watch. But moving on to the next one, here is the one that really matters because we have our special guest here. 3-1 monolithic on rated white. Kavagi coming up on top of 2 true. That's a duo of a threat at 1.39. Kavagi, man, almost 200 engagements in this game, along with rejects. And Kaiser, you have the most engagements in the series. Tell me about this series. Like, what happened? Like, in terms of, I mean, you carried your team a lot with Freshie. I saw Freshie make a lot of huge plays, and Dazi, supporting and doing his part as well. Wartech, I know that's not your starter. I know Koi was out, so that's a huge difference. But man, you carried your team with engagements.
Yeah, that's something we definitely go over. Like we definitely need to pick up the pace sometimes. I feel like, like we should all be getting a little bit more engagements, even if we're not winning them. We gotta put ourselves out there. Um, for a good, there is something that I can't disclose now, but there is I'll tell you now. There is going to be most likely a little bit of a change with our team going into next week.
Ooh, no
That's all I
inside
can say.
scoop. Oh man. Well, we're gonna have to get K7 Intel to figure out what's going on. What's going on? But moving on to match number 4, halfway through here is the 5 map game with finale and the boys at Wave Runners Tar Heel coming up big, 1.10, almost 200 engagements. But Gazilli, this is another record breaker. Gazilli sets the record for the highest kills in Hardpoint for 40 kills. I think that's in the league or in CW. I'm not sure. Sparky's probably still here as he's monitoring the records board for the league. Um, but I don't know if he's still here. But
Yes.
Gazilli,
Yeah. That was the new kill record for Cold War itself. Give me talk through and I'll let you know if it's total.
okay. So Kelso, another big game. Broby coming in this team very strong with velocity. They played a really good game here. It was a pretty well balanced game, back and forth. The Miami Search very different. I'm not a fan of Miami on Search. Too much cross map. I mean, you can't snipe anymore, but there were some people gunning people down. I think Tar Heel had the Krig, and he was straight shooting guys across the map with the Krig. I mean, Miami, is that a map of preference for you, Kaiser?
Um, I like it better than Garrison.
Oh,
Mm.
thank you. Oh, ooh, praise the Lord, man. Yeah,
Like
Garrison. Ugh.
if we were to get a new DLC map, I'd Garrison out. I'd keep Miami. I'd be fine with that.
I would too, 100% of the time, even though I don't like Miami on search. But Garrison, ugh, yeah, I think a lot of COD players hate Garrison.
Yeah.
But Mercy and Reckless coming in this lineup. They didn't have Neva because Neva went to Team Hustle, but Reckless dropping a good series. 186 engagements here at 0.90. I mean, overall, it was a really good game. We thought we were going to see the first reverse sweep. Spark, any update on that?
He did not break the kill record itself. Going back to Modern Warfare, it is 46, I believe. Yes, 46. That was by BMO.
Yep, BMO, the Demo. But anyway, this game itself was a crazy match to watch. And the next match wasn't the craziest of all. That is Natural Talent. My God, Esporto popped off this game with a 2.50 KT for his team. That's literally, if you put Katsy and Kip together, that's better than their KD. If you put Crixus and Katsy together, that's better. This is a brand new roster. Dorchase, Feich, I can't say that right, Shani. Not the best of performances for these guys as they only got a minimum of 80, 70 average kills. But yeah, not the best performance, but it's that whole regain process. There's not much to talk about in this match right here because this was a really fast match. I think it was actually probably the fastest match in K7 history. I think it timed and clocked in itself at 41 minutes from start of map 1 to the end of map 3, which was insane to me. Yes, we have. But going on to the next series here is Swear Society and Living Nightmare, 3-4 series where we had Turbo, Exert, Cynical, and Nefarious from the Living Nightmare side, who really popped off for their team. This was a pretty balanced match. We had Carl, Island, and Camo, which I think was unrated as well, and Vito. Played for the Swear Society side, but overall it was pretty balanced. I thought it was going to go to Game 5 as well. And just getting some word in from that finale and Wave Runners game, Gazilli also breaks the record for the most kills in a series. He breaks his home record. Okay. I'm a little lost on that, but that's what we're getting word on the record departments here. Oh,
He
didn't have that many. There we go.
he beat his own record that he set last year on Modern Warfare
Oh, okay.
in a series.
Interesting. Well, I didn't have the Valk screen prepared, but Valk, you guys did a really great job. But as we take it on to the last match of the week, Indiana Syndicate, Hype D Sports, an absolute domination as most of their players average .64 on the Hype D Sports side. Not the strongest performance they had in the season, but there's still 10 weeks left to prove it, or 9 weeks left to prove it, because I think it's 10 games a team, right, Vic?
Yes, sir. It's 11. Actually, sorry, it's 11 per team.
Oh, okay.
For a total of 88 matches per season. Should need some interesting stat scores. I think a lot of these teams are going to finish very close together group-wise. A lot of 5 and 6 or 7 and 4 type records.
Yeah, no, absolutely, definitely will. Any particular thoughts on some of the teams in Division A? Like, who do you think your top 4 teams will be here in Division A?
Top 4 in Division A, based on experience and what I'm seeing, I've got in no particular order: Rated Gold, Heartbreakers, Wave Runners, and Monolithic. I'm not inspired by Knights Templar performance. I think Rated White's just gotta get a little thing under their feet before they top out someone like Monolithic, but I think they would be a very good 4 or 5 spot in this division as well.
Damn, Kaiser, we gotta prove them wrong, bro. We gotta prove them wrong. That's what we have to do. Kaiser, what would your top 4 pick be? I definitely know you're gonna put Rated White in there.
Top 4 from this division: Rated Gold, Heartbreakers, Rated White, and probably Finale Gaming.
All right, yeah, no, it's tough between Monolithic and Finale and Wave Runners. That's like the middle, 3 teams that is gonna take that 4 slot. or I don't know, Monolithic could outperform teams. You never know, but this is what's good about the league, is to figure out what happens during their match week, to see what's going on. Moving on to Division B, a very different division. Let me actually go back real quick. My top four for this division is going to be Rated White, Heartbreakers, Mono, and Finale. I'm sorry, Raid Runners, but I have to put Finale in there. They look a little stronger.
Oof.
They won the series, but they look stronger. Vic, you didn't put Finale in there, so I had to put Finale in there. Going on to Division B, Natural Talent leading the pool here. Kaiser, top four teams for you here.
I can't imagine Natural Talent in Indiana not being top four. Like, I can't see that. For the rest of them, for the next two, I'd probably choose Valkyrie and I don't know. I don't know what I'd put for fourth. Possibly Valiant or Living Nightmare, but I would have to see more of Living Nightmare first because
And again,
they're completely new.
that's the same situation. You get those three class teams, Living Nightmare, Sort of Society, man. I mean, Carl was carrying that team, and they do, good. Once they have their comms and everything is sorted, and Valiant Gaming just another caliber, but they're also going to be doing what you guys are doing coming into week 2. You guys are going to come in for a surprise. I will not spoil anything. But definitely going to be some high caliber teams here. Vic, what are your top four in this?
Top four in this, I think we can just go right by this graphic. I got NT, Syndicate, Valkyrie right in that order. And the fourth spot's going to be a fight between Nightmare Society and Valiant Gaming. I think all three of those orgs are very similar in terms of skill sets, roster performance, and map preferences. So I think that last spot's going to be a rotating between those three teams all season long. But the top three that you see in this division, in the order that they're in now, I can't see it any other way.
Absolutely. Grizz making me laugh on stream. He thinks I'll just say it. Because I didn't say Rated Gold's top four. I'm delusional.
Oof,
I don't
my
know,
guy.
man. Division A is a high caliber team, and my picks for Division B, Natural Talent would be a disservice if I don't say them. Indiana Syndicate for sure will make it Valkyrie as well. Man, oh, if I were to say, looking at the new Val squad that's coming in, put Val in the fourth slot. I'm sorry, Live a Nightmare, you got a huge competition to beat if you're gonna take that fourth slot. But with that being said, boys, going back to the webcams here, it was a very interesting night to have you guys aboard. Your camera's on drugs there, Tyler, but that's fine. There we go. Any closing thoughts? This is your chance right now, Kaiser, to spit out some not rhymes, but call some people out that you need to call out.
I mean, I got nothing. I talk a lot of trash, like, in the moment, but I never keep grudges. I'm always, looking for any opportunities. I'm not going to be that guy to just cut ties. So,
Damn it.
I'm good with everyone, man.
I want Riot. I want Riot. But man, that's pretty respectful. I respect that. That's a good player mindset right there, and definitely going to be interested to see how you guys perform in week 2. Again, for those of you that weren't watching in the beginning, these are your week 2 matches. Finale will be taking on Rated White. Some of the top 3 matches to watch is definitely that Wednesday, both those Wednesday matches. And the other one, I would say Valkyrie and Living Nightmare. And I mean, you also got the Monday match too, where it's Valiant Gaming and Indiana Syndicate. Two strong rosters. Ladies and gentlemen, it was about. Oh, Vic, do you want to close anything before we close out the stream?
Just want to give a shout out to our wonderful sponsors, Get Good Hosts, Drop Shot Stats, Innovated Gear doing our apparel line this year. It looks fantastic. Get your orders in now. And last but not least, Gamers Resort for the mental well-being of all our players and AM players out there on the circuit. Thank you very much for everything you guys do.
Thank you guys, and we appreciate it. And want to thank you guys for the 1.5k followers on Twitter. I was gonna say YouTube. I wish we had 1.5k subscribers.
One day, very
One day.
soon.
One day, very soon. That's indeed. It was a pleasure, Kaiser, to have you on board as our guest here tonight. I appreciate your patience and sticking out the 50 minutes with us, man. Definitely going to be interesting to see you play, man. And I know your camera's like bugging out, but we are out. Thank you so much, fellas.